Game, man. This ain't gonna hold you. Hey, check this out. It's two words. The two words was gangster and civilian. And I be hearing a lot of people talk about this shit, man. And and you can tell in the conversation the people that don't come from that fiber or that fabric, and I'm talking about the streets or whatever, and even people that come from it, they tend to put gangster here and civilian here. Even when I was young, I was impressed with the slabs. I'm from Texas, Houston to be exact, and slabs, elbows and vogues, the women and the money. The guns and the trauma that come along with it. A lot of dudes that was involved with the shit that didn't keep it 100 with you about the shit, they would romanticize that shit to you, especially if you was a kid. Say when you a child, you do as a child, and when you a man, you let childish shit go, whatever, right? People that actually grew up in that era, partook in it involuntarily and voluntarily, if they have any snap about them, they'll tell you that whole mindset was bullshit. Which brings me to the term gangster and civilian, who really, should get, the respect. And like I said, I'm not no murderer, but I was friends with guys, partners with guys that did commit those crimes, They gave their time, quote unquote, to society, and the boys free now. So are the men free, let me say that. And so, you come from that, you realize that even the guys that partook in it and had all that shine, if they kept it 1,000 with you, they would tell you, man, the way we grew up was bullshit. Let's talk about, this gangster versus civilian term. In the hood, that you are right. You face opposition every day. Civilians do too. Look at the picture, the whole picture. Look at any gangster that survived it. What they tell you at the end of their road or when they on their way out or when they leaving it alone, they tell you, man, it ain't about shit. It wasn't about shit. I hate I done it. Some of them have even cried. A lot of us are still on that Ferris wheel of, romanticism with the goings on of that shit, We still fall prey to that. And that leaves the door open for our kids. So to our kids, let me say this. When a person tells you, man, I done this, I done that, I quote unquote went to jail or went to prison, those things shouldn't be taken lightly. And they should be taken just for what they were or what they are. Signs that you are fucking up in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That is not a sign of bravery. That is not a sign of courage. Let's call it what it is. Foolishness, man. And so don't get captivated or caught in the rapture of, the stories that they tell you. Because there's other stories they don't tell you too. They monsters or whatever, right, when they come out. But some of them went in when they was babies. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, if they went in the era that I grew up in, hey, some shit happened to them. Not all of them, but I will say some of them. And a lot of them, they ain't talking. They're only telling you about the shit that shine. They ain't telling you about that shit that don't shine, that make them look bad. They're not telling you that shit. I heard a cat, he was kind of like braggadocious about the shit, right? And he was saying, yo, man, I did this, I jumped off the porch, this, that, and the third. Okay, player, let me say this then. Whose fault is that? I'm going to see if you're going to be honest with yourself. Whose fault is that? If a kid jumps off the porch, I'm talking about a kid, somebody that still needs to be taken care of by his parent, that still needs to be guided. Never paid a bill. Don't know what a bill look like. But he jumping out there, picking up a gun. Whose fault is that? His parents. His parents, man. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. But let's keep it 1,000. A lot of us are failing our kids, or have failed them. And a lot of that is because we failed ourselves.